This isn't some recycled, outdated YouTube tutorial or a theoretical guide. I'm giving you a live case study and a step-by-step blueprint to launch and scale a branded dropshipping store using the exact marketing system me and my team are actively executing on in the trenches, okay? This stuff I'm about to break down is only being used by maybe 1 to 2% of brands right now in what I call the new era of dropshipping. Okay, this is a store I scaled to 5 million last year. I'll go ahead and refresh the screen right here. And I'm showing you this so you know that the systems and the methods you're about to learn is actually being applied, not theorized. So stick around till the end of this. If you actually want to start generating income online, I'll walk you through exactly how to replicate it step by step, even if you're just starting from scratch. Let's dive into it. All right. And the best way for me to teach you how to replicate this process is by giving you a live example. This is a random store, herocovers.com. I was taking a look at their ads and their website. And basically, this is just a car cover company that allows you to customize multiple different covers for your car to prevent, water damage, to prevent sun damage, etc. And yeah, you can customize it for pretty much any car that you have, any make, any model. They got a car cover for it. And this is a quick overview of their website. As we can see here, very clean, very professional looking. They're running multiple ads, but the unique catch about this brand is that they started off organically and they did it very similar to a dropshipping approach we do called organic dropshipping. And as of right now, they're doing around $2 million per month. I'm on winninghunter.com. As we can see here, this is not 100% accurate, but this is insane that they're doing this type of revenue for just car covers. And by the end of this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to replicate their process so you can start making money online just like this, okay? With 2 million in revenue, let's be conservative and say the profit margin is 20%. At a 20% profit margin, doing 2 million per year, that's $400,000 in profits per month. That's crazy. Their average order value is $545, as we can see right here. And the key to being successful in today's market is selling high-ticket products like this, collecting an average of $500+ per order, all right? This is how they're able to scale, and this is how they're actually able to do $2 million. This is what makes an easy, impulsive purchase online, okay? And especially considering the fact that it's in the car niche, you can charge way more money than lots of other niches because car parts are very expensive, and it allows you to hit that $500 AOV. And the absolute best part about this brand is that they have an extremely high markup, meaning the product costs maybe $30, maybe $40 at very most, and they're selling it for an average of $500. On their website, it shows here $395, but with cross sells, upsells, etc., it's very easy to hit that $550 estimated AOV that Winning Hunter showed us. And another great part about this product is that it has what's called a moat. Warren Buffett originally came up with this term. It's a moat that prevents competitors or attackers from coming in and invading your castle. It's like a wall, and it allows you to scale within a market without tons of competition and ultimately allows you to make more money. For example, if we were to find this product on AliExpress, if we were to look around for a car cover, there's not going to be any competitors offering customizable car covers. And the reason being is because, well, it's very hard to do that. You need to be working directly with an agent or a supplier of some sort that is able to customize these car covers for you in the specific designs that you want. I'll get into it later in the video on how exactly you can do that to prevent competing with tons of other dropshippers selling the exact same product on the exact same platforms. But this is what makes them so special. They have little to no competitors. They're charging around a 16x markup, and they're doing millions of dollars every single month. This is the ideal situation that you want to be in, okay? And in this video, I'm going to show you how to break down and replicate this entire process from start to finish, everything from product research to designing your offer, to working with suppliers, to marketing organically, aka free ads, and then also with paid ads, how to scale into that later. So let's jump into the first section, which is going to be analyzing their social media. So as we can see here, their Instagram, they got 116,000 followers. They got multiple videos, 27 million, 9 million, 36 million, etc. They're posting pretty much daily, very consistently. And if we take a look here at their TikTok, it's not as big as we can see. There's no massive videos pinned to TikTok. Just lots of videos within that 1,000 view range, which most of you are probably hitting if you're just starting out. And then same thing with YouTube. Barely any traction there. And the thing I want to point out here is that Instagram works very well for them. Now, that's not to say that it's going to work very well for you, but for some reason, it just took off. Instagram hit the algorithm and it just started gaining viral traction very quickly. And this is why I always emphasize the importance of cross-platform diversification, meaning when you're starting out posting organic videos to social media, you want to post it to Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And guaranteed, if you're consistent and you're making good quality videos, at least one of them is going to take off. And whichever one takes off, that's the one you double down on, and that's the one you scale with. But outside of that, I'm going to show you a few videos so you can see exactly how they're operating. Let's take a look.
Check this out. Okay. I look good. Okay. On the street and I got my swag on. Okay. Get the money, gotta get my bag on. Okay. Triple back. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
So yeah, as you can see, there's no video editing to it. They're literally just filming them taking the cover off of the car. That's how simple it is. And that's what you can do when you have a really good product. You don't need to do excessive selling within your content. You literally just film the product and people go to the comments and they try to figure out where and how they can buy it, aka the link in your bio. As we can see there, they got the link, they got their email, and then they got their description right here. So it's really that simple. And when you're starting out, you're going to want to study all the competitors within your space for whatever product you're selling. So as we can see here, I have this Google Sheet that we use for our clients and also for myself. It's very beneficial. It's extremely simple. You just paste in the link of all your top videos from all your competitors. You note down any potential improvements you can make on the hook. You note down the view count and then the date that it was posted. And then from here, when you start making content for your brand, you can go through all of these videos and you can recreate these yourself. And it's super easy to do that. All you have to do really is film with your phone and make the exact same cuts, use the exact same background music and the exact same captions. For example, we use CapCut. This is the easiest platform you can use. And what you're going to do, I brought up an example right here. And this is a random dropshipping video I found. It goes through, and in this example, what you're going to do is you're going to make small little cuts in every little pocket. So for example, right here, we can zoom in. We're going to make the exact same cut like this. Ignore that, whatever. In CapCut, you're going to copy the text that they use. You're going to place the text down here into the content. You're going to copy the exact same format that it is. You can play around with this. I'm not going to go too deep into CapCut. There's plenty of CapCut tutorials. But it really just comes down to that. Most of the filming is done, like I said, on your iPhone. You don't need a DSLR. You can create, anybody can recreate this type of content, especially with hero covers and the style that they do. It's super simple. They're not using high quality cameras or they're not doing video editing. But if you want to start off on a good note, the key here is to make your first 3 to 5 videos the highest quality possible, meaning you're literally going to copy and paste top performing content online and you're going to post those as your first 3 to 5 videos, because the first videos that you post on any account are the most important because they dictate how the rest of the account traction is going to go. If right from the jump, you create a new account, you warm it up. So you start watching, videos within your niche, you start following your competitors, you start liking videos, commenting, etc. You warm that up for a few days. And then your first few posts are replicas of winning content that's proven to work. Your accounts are going to take off. Your videos are going to go viral. And you want to make sure you stick to those first few videos. And you want to make sure those first few videos are A+ videos. After that, you're going to post daily, every single day, consistently for the next few months. Okay, this is how you launch a new brand in 2025. You can't just post a few videos here and there. It needs to be consistent. Otherwise, the algorithm is going to start deprioritizing your content. But if you don't want to make content at all and you have money and you want this process to go quicker, we have a few options. Okay, the first being viral e-com ads. So I'm actually friends with the owner. This is a very good platform if you want to start filming or having UGC creators film content and having editors, mix up all your clips. They have good prices. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but honestly, I've been using this for a long time and it's one of the best out there. Another option is Join Brands. So Join Brands connects you with UGC creators. It's usually about anywhere from $70 to $100 per video. So we only really use UGC creators when it comes to paid ads, not organic. If you're doing organic, you want to either be working with clippers, editors, or filming the content yourself. I'll get into clipping later, but for now, that's how that works. And here's the thing, once a video gets over at least 100,000 views, you're going to want to push that into paid ads. So as we can see here, Instagram's the #1 platform. So obviously they're going to double down on Meta, on Instagram and Facebook ads. So they take their winning creatives, they use image ads, video ads, and they run that within Facebook, okay? And I'll break down paid ads later on in the video, but for now, I want to show you guys a content ecosystem, or an organic content ecosystem that we use every time we're launching a brand new store from scratch, all right? And this is it right here. This is on our ecosystem. I have a whole another video covering this, but in short, we usually partner with around 5 to 10 UGC creators. And by the way, this is for once you've already gotten your brand off the ground, you've been posting consistently, and you're ready to expand. Like I was saying, 5 to 10 partnered UGC creators, 2 to 4 pieces of content being produced per day at bare minimum for each UGC creator. So there's a lot of videos that get pushed out on a daily basis, 20 to 30 at least, 2 to 4 targeted audiences. So this is once you know like who your prime USP is. It could be, women 18 to 25. It could be car enthusiasts, etc. You need to plot those down, and you need to send them to the UGC creators so they know who they're attacking. And then lastly, 3 to 7 different proven content styles. So this could be unboxing videos, honest reviews, ASMR, etc. And it all follows the same exact framework: hook, body, call to action. That's how all these videos operate. Now, the call to action isn't always required. A lot of times we do a very soft call to action within the comments. We don't pitch it in the organic video because it doesn't work a lot of times, especially moving into the future. But primarily the hook and body, all right? Very simple. And we're posting onto all these platforms: Facebook, Reels, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And yeah, that pretty much is how the content distribution system is built for e-commerce products. But if you don't have budget for this kind of content system, especially with UGC creators, because the prices for UGC creators can rack up, we usually sign deals and get quantity discounts. But if you're on a lower budget, what I like to do is something called clipping. So I can't show you the inside of one of the clipping documents for one of the e-commerce products. This is for mine personally, for my personal brands, but this is kind of what a clipping system would look like. We send over this document going over, who I am, the purpose of the clipping role, step-by-step guide. They, create the platform, they select the username, and what clippers do is they just post every single day, and they get a percentage of, or basically they earn a flat rate. So $600 per month is usually what I pay. And then they get about $1,000 per million views they generate. So they're fully incentivized to get more views for you. And this kind of structure works out perfect, especially if you're selling an e-commerce product, because it fully incentivizes them to get the most amount of views as possible. Whereas an editor, if you pay them a flat rate, then it would be completely different. They wouldn't be fully incentivized to get you views. But yeah, as it shows here, crafting a good bio, warm up the account. This is mandatory. This usually takes around 2 to 4 days, just interacting and liking similar posts, etc. And then at the very bottom, we use frame.io for storing all the B-roll and all the footage so that they can go in there and they can access it. A lot of times you can just have clippers make their own videos with their face, or maybe they film themselves. But yeah, I mean, to summarize, in short, all you want to do is you want to study your competitors. You want to copy the exact styles that they're doing. Your first 3 to 5 videos need to be your best videos. You can film all the content yourself with your phone, super duper easy. You can batch film tons of raw footage on your iPhone and then send it and then edit it later. You're going to post daily. And then after a video hits 100,000 views, that's when you're going to push into the paid ads. You're going to test it with paid ads. And then when you start to scale, you're going to build out a organic content system with multiple different accounts. You're going to hire either UGC creators or clippers. You're going to manage all of them, and you can even keep going. You can hire a strategist, you can hire a market researcher, and you can really build out a big content team. But the next thing that I want to break down is the offer on their landing page, so we can learn how to recreate something similar for whatever product you're selling. So the cool thing about this product page is that it's basically an all-in-one landing page. So whether people are coming from organic, whether they're coming from paid, whatever the case is, whatever kind of car they have, whatever ads Hero Covers was running, they land on this page, allowing them to select their car and look at all the different cool customization options. And this immediately locks them in. When you have customization options, it gets people invested, and they start imagining what their car could look like, and they start looking at all the options. Another thing I noticed right off the bat is that they have buy now, pay later options. So if somebody doesn't have $400 to drop on a car cover, they can pay for $35 a month, which is very, very easy with Shop Pay, very simple, which prevents any sort of financial objections, especially when they can see that right underneath the price point. Outside of that, a very solid landing page. You can even choose an image to customize it. Is really cool. We got a basic how to order. We've got some, pictures from people who have purchased this. We got some benefit sections. We got some videos going over how it works and some fan videos. Got some more benefit sections right here. And down here, oh yeah, we got some social proof right here. This is great. FAQ section to handle any objections. And yeah, overall, just a really good website. They got a discount. This is a lead opt-in right here. If we click in the bottom left, $65 off your first purchase. This gets people invested, basically. If somebody is able to put in their email and their first name, the more actions that they take before purchase, the more likely they are to actually purchase. Okay, it's why with lots of different funnels online, it immediately tries to get somebody's email, not because they want to spam you with email marketing. I mean, that's kind of the case. But most of the time, it's to get you invested into this brand, because if you can get a coupon right away, you feel like you've already walked through the door, and then you continue to go look at the price. You continue to go add it to your cart, look at how much the shipping is, and eventually you purchase. It's a cycling effect. Another cool thing I can see here is the cross-sell. So the cross-sell is the material, and what a cross-sell means is it's something that's presented right next to the main offer or an add-on of some sort. And it's right here on the landing page. They can add waterproof, they can do diamond quilts. This adds up the AOV pretty high here. And then guaranteed, they have a post-purchase upsell, which basically just means right after somebody purchases, they go on the thank you page and there's an OTO, a one-time offer, some sort of irresistible offer, which allows them to basically just click one time and it adds it to the total purchase amount. And that ultimately increases your AOV drastically. And by the way, AOV means average order value. And another great thing about customizable products is that you can make any sort of excuse as to why their order takes multiple weeks to arrive, right? The only thing that I would like to see more on this website is a review section here at the bottom. Now, obviously, if they're coming from Instagram, this follower amount, that's enough social proof that a lot of people need, especially seeing these videos with 27 million, 9 million, 36 million. But if you are just starting out and you're a beginner and you don't have a lot of social proof, we can fabricate all of that social proof into the landing page itself. So we usually add in a review section at the very bottom of the page with at least a few hundred reviews, mix in some bad reviews to start out just to make it look more realistic. Usually like 4.6 out of 5 stars is where you want to be at. And then also adding in some UGC testimonials, reviews, etc. Kind of like this on a slider, but ideally you have customers' faces pressed against the product. So let's just say, I don't know, you're selling some sort of makeup, right? You want to have UGC pictures from UGC creators of the girls holding the makeup right up to their face, because when people can see a real face, a real testimonial, and they can see the product, then they know for sure, I'm not being scammed here, this is a real product. And trust is the number one thing that prevents sales from going through with any sort of online purchase. You need trust, okay? You don't need urgency, you don't need scarcity, you don't need all these other psychological tricks. What you need is trust. If you can build that up right from the jump, I can promise you it'll be way easier for people to purchase, and your conversion rate is going to shoot through the roof if you put enough time into building that trust. If you do UGC pictures, if you do, reviews at the bottom, if you work on growing your organic account, if you do all sorts of testimonials, it's going to seriously allow you to make more money. Now, the next thing that I want to go over with you guys is how to actually source products like this. Products that have a moat to it, that prevent other pesky dropshippers from competing with you and allowing you to scale in a market with little to no competitors at all, which is the ultimate place that you want to be in. And even just sourcing any product in general, I'll break it all down now. So the first thing, the first obvious place is going to be obviously AliExpress, as you probably heard. Okay, AliExpress is going to give you some good options, but the downside is that every other dropshipper is sourcing products from here. Now, when it comes to suppliers, what suppliers usually do is it's essentially just suppliers drop shipping you. How the supply chain usually works with dropshipping is that there's a Chinese dropshipper that's dropshipping the dropshipper, and then the dropshipper dropships the customer. Okay, it's a big game of logistics. And where all of these Chinese dropshippers source their products from is they do it from domestic websites that we normally don't have access to, like 1688.com. This is where they get the raw original price of the products, and then they resell it for a higher price here on AliExpress. Now, the caveat to this is that you cannot buy anything from 1688.com. You need to be a Chinese citizen with a Chinese bank account, but you can use it to look at prices, and you can use it to negotiate with your suppliers if you know exactly how much they're sourcing that product for, okay? But outside of this, the most reasonable agent that we use is Commercive, okay? Commercive essentially is an all-in-one dropshipping platform. They connect to your store, they handle everything, they negotiate prices with the manufacturers, they optimize the logistics so it gets the product to the customers fast as humanly possible. And the best part about it all is that they get you cheaper prices than what you might find on AliExpress, because like I said, on AliExpress, there's a lot of suppliers that are just marking up the price here ridiculous amounts. But with Commercive, they're able to negotiate much lower prices for you on your behalf with the Chinese manufacturers. Now, in the case of Hero Covers, I don't know if they worked with an agent. I don't know if they negotiated with the manufacturers directly, but more than likely they worked with an agent. If they didn't work with an agent, then they probably went on Alibaba, as you can see here, and they looked for some sort of supplier, some sort of manufacturer. So for example, this is one of the factories, Hangzhou Bulata Science Technology, blah, blah, blah. They contacted them directly, chat now, contact supplier, and they worked out a deal where they could customize units, and they either more than likely drop shipped in the very beginning, or they bought an MOQ, minimum order quantity, of probably 50 to 100 units, and shipped out to a 3PL in the United States. And then the 3PL, which is basically a big warehouse that sells your or stores your products for you, then ships it out to the customer. But in our case, we're dropshipping, and it's very difficult to negotiate dropshipping with lots of these suppliers, especially if it's customizable. But if you're working with a good agent, then they can do that all for you. They'll even buy, units up front for you. They'll risk their capital for you in order to optimize the logistics and ensure you can get the fastest shipping time. But all in all, most people are going to start out selling very simple products. But the caveat to working with an agent is that you want to be getting at least a few orders per day, usually around 5 to 10 orders per day. And that's going to give the agents enough social proof to start working with you. If you're brand new and you have 0 sales, I would suggest just going to AliExpress, getting the most basic version, maybe even ordering, from Alibaba, a bunch of units, and then customizing it with the supplier. And then eventually, once you start getting a few orders per day, then you can go to Commercive or whichever agent that you want to work with and start dropshipping from there. That's going to be the best solution by far if you're just starting out. Now, with any sort of agent that you work with, normally they have their own plugin, or you'll be able to send like a sheet to the agent so that they can fulfill the orders and ship the products directly from China to the customer. And the sheet you can export from Shopify. It has all the order details. But outside of that, if you're just selling a normal AliExpress product and you're not working with an agent, then you can go to AutoDS. This will basically automate the entire process. It's extremely simple. You add in this plugin and it automates all the orders from your Shopify to the supplier on AliExpress. And then from there, they automatically get the order details. They automatically charge your card, and then it ships the order to the customer. Everything's automated. You don't even need to touch anything. You just need to set it up initially, and it's super easy. The other options, DSers, they're very popular as well. They basically do the exact same thing. They have other features, but their main feature is just automating the whole dropshipping fulfillment process. All right, but next I want to go over product research and how to actually find winner products like Hero Covers. And I have a few different methods. There's obviously multiple different ways to go about this, but the very first method that I like to do, which is pretty popular, is called the burner method. What the burner method means is you'll go to TikTok, but what you're going to do is you're going to create a new account and you're going to optimize your feed specifically for dropshipping products. You can search in hashtags like hashtag TikTok made me buy it, and you can start watching these dropshipping videos. You start liking them, start commenting, and then eventually your feed is going to optimize to only show you e-commerce products like this. And you can just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and save any videos that have any cool products that you might like. And from this, you can see what's actually starting to perform in the market. And once a product just starts to trend, that's when you can hop on that product trend and start selling that product. Or even better yet, and this is very valuable, you take that product and you customize it somehow to prevent other dropshippers from stealing your product, allowing you to scale rapidly within the market without much competition, with your moat in place. Okay, the next method is very simple. It's called the AliExpress homepage method. And all you're gonna do here is you're gonna look for products and you're gonna look on the AliExpress homepage. So once you create your account, what it's gonna do is it's gonna start to optimize the type of products that you're looking for. And down here under More to Love on the AliExpress homepage, and you just scroll through here and you start saving all the products that you like, okay? And then lastly, the third method is on Winning Hunter. So on Winning Hunter, you can go to the website, create your accounts. It's going to cost some money every month, but What you can do is you can spy on competitors within Winning Hunter. Don't know why I went out of that there. You can look at basically Facebook ads, Meta ads, TikTok ads, and it just booted me out. Oh well. But anyways, the point being is you can scroll through there. You can look at new videos that are just starting to gain popularity, and you can do your product research that way. And once it's all done, you can compile every single product link that you have into this Google Sheet. Very simple Google Sheets right here. Just any Google Sheet will do. And just copy the links and list them all out within your Google Sheet. Once that's done, you're going to take this, you're going to take all these links, you're going to copy them, and then you're going to go into ChatGPT and you're going to paste them right here into ChatGPT. And I have a very specific prompt that you're going to tell ChatGPT what to do with all these links, because what it can do essentially is it can look at every single landing page and it can analyze all the product details for you. But we wanted to analyze products in the exact way of a top 1% dropshipper. And I have a PDF document right here. I'll share the link with you guys in the description. I have a whole nother video covering this, by the way. But in short, what you're going to do is you're going to copy this prompt right here. Please analyze the products in the CSV and score each based on the following 10 criteria, ranking each product variable and overall score 1 to 10. So we got emotional resonance, market size, repeat purchase potential, lightweight and easy to ship, wow factor, 4x markup, ease of marketing, high perceived value, evergreen potential, and compliance with paid ads. What it's going to do then is it's going to score each and every single product 1 out of 10 on each of these variables we're looking for. And whichever product scores the highest score possible, that's going to be your winning product. From there, you're going to take your top 5 picks that ChatGPT picked out for you based off of the list that you fed it, and you're going to use your intuition to basically pick the product that you want to go with. So let's just say you have your final 5 picks. You're going to choose whatever, honestly, you think will work best, and also whatever you have a passion for. If you have a passion for any specific product on that list and you know that market inside and out, it's going to be way easier to sell. I'm telling you, if you're selling a product for women and you're a male, sure, it'll work. It'll do good once you start to understand the market. But if you could sell a product that you're very passionate about, it's going to be way easier to sell. And another quick thing to note is that you want to choose a product that has the option to customize or potentially double down on in the future. And once you finalize that product pick and you're ready to name the product, I have a very specific branding document that I usually show people. And it's this right here. It's the same ecosystem. By the way, I have a YouTube video covering this whole ecosystem. But there's something I like to do called brand name genericization. So the easiest example to give you is basically Kleenex for tissues, Band-Aid for bandages, chapstick for lip balm. What that means is you create such a unique, catchy name that people resonate the product name with your brand, right? So a classic example is Band-Aid for bandages. So whenever you want a Band-Aid, you ask for a Band-Aid. Band-Aid isn't the name of the product. Band-Aid is the name of the brand. And if you can do the exact same thing with your product, when people go to search up that product on TikTok or Instagram, they're going to land right back on your brand's name. Even in Google as well, if they try to search it up, it's going to divert all the traffic right back to you, which essentially pushes out the competitors and prevents your customers from finding other similar competitors at other price points. You want to be the only competitor in the market, and you need brand magnetism to do that, okay? But outside of that, let's go over how to actually build out the website for the product that you're going to sell. And I have 2 options here. The first one being just literally recreating a top competitor's website from top to bottom. Now, I'm not saying copy any pictures, copy any specific copywriting that they use or text on their website, because that's going to get your Shopify store DMCA'd. But what you can do is you can copy the entire structure of their website that's already proven to work. Because guaranteed, if you're competing with a big brand, they've spent tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in CRO testing, which means conversion rate optimization testing. And if you just copy what already works, what's proven to convert the best with the traffic that lands on their website, then you're going to have the best odds starting out. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to start your Shopify store from scratch. You can literally just copy what works. And on Fiverr, you can search up any sort of web developer that does this, that can clone a Shopify store. As you can see here, this is somebody that we worked with in our program, Usman, but you can work with anybody. Doesn't really matter. This guy has good rates still. So that's that option, is finding somebody on Fiverr to recreate a website. The second option is going to be this Lumen theme right here. So Lumen theme's a really, really nice Shopify theme that makes it really easy to design the store that you want to design. It's $214, so it's around the same price as the Fiverr guy, but I can promise you going with either of these is going to save you weeks of time. So if $200 is worth one entire week of your time, especially if you're brand new, then you should probably pay some money for that. Okay. You can work a minimum wage job and you can make $200 pretty quickly. I'd rather do that than spend a week designing my Shopify store from scratch. It's painful, especially if you're not tech savvy. Just go with this. Okay. But this is what the theme looks like. We can take a look here at some of these images. Scroll down here. It's very clean, very minimalistic. It looks highly professional. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to go into each of these sections and easily change, the product images and the text on here. And you can just copy and paste this, change the colors, etc. Now, in terms of product images, there's a few ways we can do this. We can go to placeit.net, and this is the classic way that we've always done. What this is it allows you to create mock-up images. So as you can see down here, you can insert your logo or your brand image into any one of these pictures. We usually use like boxes, so like fake custom packaging on the website when you start out, and it makes it look highly professional. But with all the new advancements in AI, with DALL-E and ChatGPT, you can basically create very high quality images on ChatGPT, which I would highly suggest you do that because it's seriously outperforming product photography. It's outperforming placeit.net. It's outperforming everything. I'll make a specific video covering how to do that, but for now, that's all you need to know for product images. But in terms of setting up the Shopify store, I'm not going to go over all the tiny little details of setting up the backend, getting into the settings, etc. I'm not going to teach you all the technical details. There's a million tutorials out there, but what you should know right now is A, how to set up a business license, and then B, which payment processor that I recommend. So first, when it comes to the business license, in the very beginning, you don't need to focus on that at all. But once you start getting a few sales rolling in, that's when you want to set up the business license. And the easiest way to do this is to set up an LLC in the state that you're in. But when you start scaling up and you actually prove concept and you actually take the business off the ground, what I recommend doing is setting up an S corporation and incorporating that in a state with a very favorable state tax. So my corporation set up in Delaware because they have 0% state tax. And I would highly recommend you do that as well, because this is an online business. It doesn't need to be stationed in the state that you live in. It can be stationed in pretty much any state that you want. In Delaware, it's an awesome place to set it up. Super duper easy. It's not like, for example, I used to live in California. In California, the IRS is just horrible there. They'll audit you for any little thing they can. The state tax is horrible. You don't want to have to deal with that. And then B, in terms of the payment processor, I always recommend Payment Cloud. What Payment Cloud does is they're basically a payment processing agent. So they'll go and find the absolute best payment processor for you based off of your circumstances, based off of what kind of product you're selling, etc. In the very beginning, you can just use Shopify payments. It's super duper simple to set up. Just set up all the basic stuff, buy your domain on the website. You could use Shopify domains. That's the easiest route to go down. But so once you start getting a few more sales, that's when you want to contact Payment Cloud. I'll put the link in the description for you guys to check them out. And then lastly, in terms of taxes, you don't want to use a cheap tax software, for example, TurboTax or any of those similar tax softwares. What you want to do is you want to go to a local accountant that's near you, and you want to work with somebody who knows what they're doing, especially if you're setting up a corporation in a different state. TurboTax isn't going to do that for you. Let's jump into running paid ads. And in order to set up paid ads, depending on the platform you're running on, it's pretty simple. There's two things you're going to do. Number one is you're going to set up the pixel, which I'll go into in a second. And then two, you're going to create the advertising accounts. After you set up the accounts, the first thing that you're going to do on Meta and on TikTok is set up warm traffic retargeting campaigns. So let's just say organically on Instagram, you blew up just like hero covers. What you're going to do is you're going to set up a basic warm traffic retargeting campaign under an ASC, aka Advantage Plus campaign. And you're going to tell that campaign to target your warm traffic. So in Meta, you're going to create custom audiences of people that have engaged with your brand. Maybe they've viewed 100% of multiple videos of yours. Maybe they've liked and commented on posts. Maybe they've followed your accounts. This is called warm traffic because it clearly shows that they're interested in the product. And we want to immediately start advertising to those people. So let's say you have your organic videos going, right? At the same time, people who show interest in your organic videos and in your product, you're going to run a low budget ads to those people and get them to convert. And right off the bat, this is going to be the most profitable way you can go into paid ads. Once you master the warm traffic, that's when you scale into the cold traffic campaigns. And with paid advertising, it's very simple to set up. There's two main things you're going to do depending on what platform you're advertising on. And I recommend either advertising on TikTok or Meta ads. We've seen Meta perform the best amongst all of our portfolio clients. I'd say in this past year, Meta's been outperforming TikTok for a multitude of reasons, mainly because TikTok Shop is kind of getting saturated right now, and they're not favoring third-party sellers like Shopify stores on their platform. They're trying to direct all the traffic to TikTok Shop, which you can do if you have inventory. You can't dropship on TikTok Shop. You have to have inventory. You have to support in a 3PL, and you have to ship it out to customers domestically in whichever country you're selling to. But when it comes to Meta, and when it comes to advertising on TikTok, there's two steps you're going to do. Number one is you're going to set up the pixel, which you can do inside of Shopify. Super easy to set up. It's just a plugin for TikTok. And then on Shopify, you can natively set it up. And then number two is you're going to set up the social or the paid advertising accounts. And the whole process takes maybe an hour at very most to do all of that. And once they're set up, you're ready to go. And in order to do this, I recommend setting up some very, very basic campaigns in the beginning. Number one, if you're running Meta ads, what you're going to do is you're going to set up one ASC campaign, aka a Advantage Plus campaign on Meta. What this is it's basically an AI automated campaign. And all you're going to do, you're going to take your top performing organic videos that have at least gotten 100,000 views, and you're going to dump them all into the Advantage Plus ASC campaign. And you're going to set a minimum spend limit of $5 per ad within that campaign, allowing each and every ad to basically optimize and get enough data for Facebook to determine whether it's a good ad or not. And then for TikTok, you're basically going to do the same thing, except on TikTok, it's called a Shopping Plus campaign. And it's completely AI driven. You dump all of your creatives into one campaign and you just let it optimize with a minimum spends per ad. You don't need to complicate this at all. That's all it really comes down to. Once you get to a much higher level, of course, it gets more complicated, but within your first few million within the year, you just need basic campaigns like that to scale to that kind of level that you're looking to scale. And then the second option, of course, would be image ads. And then, of course, the third option is obviously TikTok Shop. So once a brand starts scaling up and they're doing good numbers with direct consumer advertising on Meta or on TikTok, we then always suggest the client to buy inventory, ship that inventory to a 3PL, and then from there, you can sell on both Amazon and TikTok Shop. And these are search-based marketing platforms, not interruption marketing platforms. So what you're doing right now with everything I've taught you is interruption marketing. You're interrupting somebody with an organic video or with an ad. But with search-based marketing, it opens up a whole new channel of potential revenue that you can attack. And the great thing about TikTok Shop is that it's basically a mix between interruption marketing and search-based marketing. So it allows people to both find your product on TikTok Shop, and also it allows you to utilize TikTok affiliates to go sell your product for you. And TikTok affiliates are basically UGC creators, aka affiliate marketers, who are fully incentivized to go post tons of TikToks with your product link attached to those videos to sell your product. It's super cool, but if you're just starting out and you have a low budget, I would not suggest doing that because it requires you to buy inventory and it's a very competitive landscape. So just start off with Shopify, get some sales flowing through, and then start ordering in bulk, shipping that to a 3PL, using TikTok Shop and scaling from there. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire process right there for you guys. To summarize, you're going to do your product research. You're going to follow the strategies I taught you. You're going to have ChatGPT help you out and come up with the number one product. You're going to name that product something that is very memorable, that you're going to utilize the brand name genericization strategy I taught you to basically ensure that wherever people search the product, they end up right back on your website or on your social media. Then from there, you're going to work with an agent. Ideally, you just start with a basic AliExpress supplier and then graduate into an agent. But if it's personalized product or if it's a unique product, you work directly with an agent right from the jump. From there, you build out the entire website. You can use somebody on Fiverr, or you can use Lumen Theme. After the website is built, you're going to connect the supplier or the agent into your website. You're going to get your domain. You're going to set up your payment processor. You're going to set up your taxes and your shipping rates. And then you're going to go live. Once you're live, you're going to start posting every single day, and you're going to make sure your first 3 to 5 videos you copy from winning angles and competitors, and you're going to publish those as your own in the very beginning. Okay, you're going to recreate those top performing organic videos in CapCut. You're going to make all the same cuts. You're going to film the product exactly how they filmed it, and then you're just going to post consistently day after day, okay? This is what I call the trenches. This is when you're just posting every single day and you're hoping that one of the videos start to take off. Once it does, it's going to be a snowball effect. If a video gets, I don't know, 200,000 views, the next video, it's going to get way more views and more and more and more, eventually to the point where you're getting millions of views and you're making lots of money organically. From there, you're going to take your top performing organic videos and you're going to push them into paid ads. And on paid ads, you're going to set up some very basic campaigns, ASE campaign for Meta, and then a Shopping Plus campaign for TikTok. You're going to set up warm traffic retargeting campaigns. You're going to create custom audiences out of those engaged audiences on your social media. And last point, as a beginner, it's so much easier to just sell one single product in the very beginning, okay? Traditionally, lots of gurus and strategies online taught you to go test tons of products on a general store to see what product the market reacts the best to. But the problem with that strategy is that now, with the rising ad costs, it's very difficult to do unless you have at least 5 to 10 grand to throw at those products. Much harder to test in today's market. And if you do that approach, then you can't do the organic advertising approach because you can't test products organically, all right? It's way better to start out with one single product, do tons of research, do tons of pre-market and product research to sell the absolute best guess of a product that you can find, put all of your eggs into one basket, double down on this one product, and just make it work, okay? I've seen so many people fail over and over again testing so many different products, and it's the same story over and over, is that they test a product, they run ads to it, it doesn't get any sales, and then they repeat the process 15, 20, 25 times over. A year goes by, they lose 10 grand setting up the Shopify stores, running the ads, and for all the people that did make it work, they follow a very similar process to what I taught you. They go hard in the paint, they go all in on one product, they double down on it, and they just make it work, okay? Because 90% of the game is marketing. And if you don't put any time or effort into marketing tons of products that you're testing, then it's not gonna work out. But if you put all your time and effort into marketing with one product, it will work. But lastly, if you want my team to handle all of this for you so you can just sit back and watch us build lots of this infrastructure out and partner with us in a one-on-one partnership, check out the link below in the description, okay? I have something called the partnership program where essentially we partner with you one-on-one. We take a percentage of the profits if you do qualify, and then we scale it up from there. This isn't a traditional mentorship or course or anything like that, okay? This is a partnership. This is a new concept, and it's how we've been able to get so many successful clients, okay? In the past few years, we've gotten over 14 seven-figure students. We've gotten 1,300 successful students, and it's a partnership where I'm able to directly work with you one-on-one so that you don't have to keep bouncing around from YouTube video to YouTube video, testing all these different strategies, throwing a bunch of crap on the wall. It's going to shortcut the process and ensure you do it right the first time so you can copy and paste all the systems and the frameworks that we use to scale these stores up. But yeah, outside of that, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, like. You can ask me any comments in the comment section. I'm going to be responding to everybody. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.